remember, when that happens, your skin's natural barrier is compromised. So even if you didn't have sensitive skin before, your skin is now sensitive and a lot more reactive to the slightest of things. So lotions that you could wear on before without a problem, you might end up reacting to that now. And if you go out in the sun, you might hyperpigment a lot faster and a lot more than you did before, simply because your skin's natural barrier is stripped away. And now you actually have to work with the whole dealings of sensitive, irritated skin. Hey guys, welcome to Jay's Skincare. My name is Julia and thank you for stopping by. This is a topic that I care about, skincare. I'm definitely not a skincare expert here, not a dermatologist or anything of that kind. I'll just say that I am a skincare enthusiast. So this is going to be something that I'm researching a lot about. This is something that I'm reading up a lot on, and I think it's always good to share useful, valid information with all of you. Hopefully it's something that you would actually find useful. Exfoliation. When you think about exfoliation, we have three different kinds of exfoliation. You have your physical exfoliation, your chemical, and your enzyme exfoliation. Now, chemical and enzyme exfoliation are typically new. I think a lot newer when you compare it to physical exfoliation. Obviously, because chemical and enzyme exfoliants are a lot complex to derive. You could say that, to think about having skin-friendly acids that don't hurt the skin but also do the job. That's your chemical exfoliation. And your enzyme exfoliation is, getting enzymes from fruits like papaya, pineapple, and pumpkin and all of that. You find enzymes from fruits like that again also do the job of removing dead skin cells from your skin surface. That's your enzyme exfoliation. Physical exfoliation is also quite a mechanical way of removing dead skin cells away from your skin surface, because you're manually exfoliating your skin. We see a lot of well-known brands come up with physical exfoliants, either through a body scrub or a face scrub which has whole grains in it, or which has sugar, coffee, or jojoba beads or something of that kind, right? That's some form of physical exfoliation right there. Having said that, I was guilty of using physical exfoliants myself. I think it just gave a stronger appeal to me because it feels like you're physically doing something to remove those dead skin cells away. And it does give you a temporary look of glow and radiance, but I don't think that is something that you should be using in the longer run. And I realized that myself when I started reading up about physical exfoliation versus chemical and enzyme exfoliation. It's too harsh for skin of color, and I think it's harsh for even Caucasian skin, but I think it reacts a lot more on skin of color. Physical scrubs are a lot harsher for skin of color because we tend to use friction when we use those exfoliants against our body. That can very well cause abrasions, micro tears. Micro tears are not visible to the naked eye, but they definitely cause damage and injury there, and that in turn leads to inflammation of some kind. It leads to irritation, and then that leads to you hyperpigmenting, which is possibly the worst outcome that we want from an exfoliation technique. The goal for exfoliation is to remove dead skin cells away, to have your face look glowing, radiant, even toned, to let your younger, youthful skin cells underneath come up to the surface. But when we actually use something like a physical exfoliant and it leads to hyperpigmentation, it beats your purpose of having even toned, radiant, glowing skin. So the first point again was that it's too harsh for skin of color, and not just that, it's also something that's too abrasive and can lead to micro tears and lead to hyperpigmentation in the end. Remember that skin of color is more prone to hyperpigmentation. The melanocytes under our skin are a lot bigger than Caucasian skin, and they get triggered fairly easily, cuts, bruises, micro tears, injuries, inflammation, irritation. Second reason why I stopped using physical scrubs is because remember that we're using friction on our skins when we're using physical scrub to remove the top layer of the dead skin cells. And sometimes what happens is we end up also ripping the moisture barrier from the skin. and that moisture barrier being absent is going to lead your skin to be a lot more sensitive to UV rays and to any kinds of other treatments or creams or lotions that you're applying on your skin, especially if they have acids, chemicals, active ingredients that can really sting. So this is one of the reasons why I think sensitive skin types, and especially even combination skin or dry skin, all of these three should most likely avoid physical scrubs. The third reasons on why I stopped using physical scrubs is because while they can remove your dead skin cells away, they can quite easily interrupt or also remove fresh living cells right underneath your dead skin cells. Yes, that can happen, especially when your exfoliant is really harsh or depending on how much friction you're using to exfoliate yourself. Remember that a lot of physical scrubs are not really refined. Some of them can have jagged edges, some of them can be uneven in sizes, and that can lead to you exfoliating or over exfoliating one particular area of your skin, where you're actually stripping the living cells away along with your dead skin cells. So that's one of the reasons I stopped using physical scrubs. But when that happens, your skin's natural barrier is compromised. So even if you didn't have sensitive skin before, your skin is now sensitive and a lot more reactive to the slightest of things. So lotions that you could wear on before without a problem, you might end up reacting to that now. And if you go out in the sun, you might hyperpigment a lot faster and a lot more than you did before, simply because your skin's natural barrier is stripped away. And now you actually have to work with the whole dealings of sensitive, irritated skin. The fourth reason why I stopped using physical scrubs is simply because you might end up scrubbing unevenly. Now, this is not something that you would do consciously. It might be an unconscious thing, or you might end up applying a lot more pressure to one area of our skin versus another. Now, that again leads to uneven exfoliation, and it can quite easily happen if you're using exfoliants that are not well-rounded or even, that are either having jagged edges or are in different sizes depending on the exfoliant. Really, again, when that happens, it again leads to microscopic tears in our skin. We might not be able to see that with our naked eye, but they're very much there. And that again leads to injuries, irritation, inflammation, and then hyperpigmentation, uneven skin tone. The microscopic tears that we don't really see with our naked eye, they're a lot more dangerous than we can actually imagine, because those cuts and those tears can lead to bacteria coming in, seeping in into your skin, causing infection, causing acne, pimple, and all kinds of things that you don't want to deal with. Like I've said before, I've actually been guilty of using physical exfoliants myself. It's pretty easy to get carried away, especially with a lot of big brands talking about different kinds of scrubs that they introduce. Those are physical exfoliants, again, sugar scrubs or scrubs with coffee or cocoa beads, jojoba beads. I really think it's really easy to get carried away again with that, and especially with a lot of DIY videos showing physical scrubs, physical exfoliation techniques. It's again a lot easy to get carried away now. But I think it's always better to do our own research, to read up on these things, because some of that can give temporary short-term results, but they may not be really viable or healthy for us in the long run. I personally think that it's not a great idea to use physical exfoliants for both Caucasian skin and skin of color, but especially for skin of color, because we tend to react and hyperpigment a lot faster than Caucasian skin. I'm definitely going to be making a video on chemical and enzyme exfoliants, and I'm going to be sharing my thoughts around why I think that's a lot better an option than using physical exfoliants. Now again, those are going to be skin-safe chemical exfoliants and skin-safe enzyme exfoliants, so please watch out for that one. Now if you liked this video and found it useful, then please do give me a thumbs up on the like button below, and please do share it with anyone that you think might find this video useful. You could also subscribe to my channel, and I think there's a bell icon there. I'm not really sure, but I think that's going to help you get any notifications for any future videos that I'm going to put about in the video, in the channel. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. Thank you again for tuning in. Take care, and I'll see you soon.